Welcome to another episode of Doggy Dilemmas. Today we're visiting the Monadnock Humane Society's retail store, Animal Tracks. So many times on this show you hear me say that dog behavior problems cannot be solved quickly, and so often that is the case. Today I'm happy to tell you that I'm going to show you several pieces of equipment that will help solve your dog walking problems. If your dog has been dragging you down the sidewalk or the road or the trails, sensation harnesses, candy collars, and gentle leaders are the answer to your problems. So let's go in, take a look, and see what we can find.
Denise Mazzola is a certified professional dog trainer with over 20 years experience training dogs and people. If you've got a doggy dilemma, Denise can help.
So here we are inside Monadnock Humane Society where Animal Tracks is located. And the items I'm going to show you today are the sensation harness, the gentle leader, and the candy collar. And these are all items that will quickly solve your dog walking problems. So let's just take a quick look. The sensation harness is only sold here, and it's a very important piece of equipment. It was designed by a woman in California who works with horses, and she understands that horses and dogs have oppositional reflex. The leash is going to connect to this piece, which is on the chest of the dog, and it will help you have a much better walk. They also come in a variety of colors, so if you don't like red, there's black and blue and other colors as well. The gentle leader is a head collar for dogs. What happens is this piece goes on their muzzle, and this gets clipped behind their ears. So if you've ever worked with horses, you'll know that horses wear halters. When you just slide a slip lead over a horse's neck, you're not going to get very far. They're going to go wherever they want. And some dogs behave in the same fashion. So a gentle leader is better for some dogs. That you'll get a much better walk and enjoy yourself a lot more. Now the other item we're going to talk about is a candy collar, and I'm going to show you this when we go outside. Candy collars are similar to gentle leaders, but it's harder for the dog to get the nose piece off the nose, and some dogs actually prefer them better and owners prefer them better. And again, this is the only place in the Monadnock region that you're going to find these particular items, is right here at Animal Tracks, the Monadnock Humane Society. So let's take a look and see how these are going to actually work on our dogs. Now I want to introduce you to Lori Foss. Come on over, Lori. Lori is the retail coordinator of Animal Tracks here at the Monadnock Humane Society. So Lori, tell us when your hours of operation are.
We are open Wednesday through Sunday from 12 to 6 p.m.
Great. And what I've told the folks at home is that you're the only place in the Monadnock region that sells the real sensation harnesses. There are some imposters out there, but I don't like them as much. Gentle leaders and of course the candy collars are all unique to what you guys sell.
That's true.
Now tell us, can people bring in their dogs and will you help fit them for these products?
They can. Anyone in here at the adoption desk is able to fit their dogs. We welcome them to bring them in and ask us about our sensation harnesses, and we'll get them fit and get them out the door.
Great. Yeah. Now, there's 3 different products we're talking about today. So are they able to, try the sensation harness and then take their dog for a walk around the grounds you have?
We encourage that.
Great.
Just to make sure that it's fit properly before they leave.
Great. So the people will have a choice. They don't have to buy it and then go home and say, oh, I don't like this isn't working. They can figure that all right.
We encourage them to let us fit them and let us show them how it's done for future reference.
Great.
We also encourage them that if they feel that the harness has become loose or tight, to bring their dog back and we will refit it for them.
Oh, excellent. That's an excellent idea. Great. And I also want everybody to remember that any products that are purchased at the Humane Society, that money goes right back into helping the over 2,000 animals that you guys help every year.
All proceeds from the sale of our product recycle right back to the shelter.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So here's a good example of even small dogs start pulling when you're trying to go for a walk. Come on, Vesta. And when you have 2, it's even more difficult because sometimes they want to go in different directions. Come on, guys. Come on, Kenzie. So when Mackenzie stops and I'm pulling on her like this, I'm still pulling on that oppositional reflex. So it doesn't, there you go, let's walk nice. So it doesn't really help to pull that much more. Here again, I'd like to turn right, but the dogs are pulling to the left. And the more I pull, the more they pull. And then I'm not sure if you can hear Vesta's having a tracheal reaction. Come on, Mackenzie. Good girl. All right, let's put them on sensation harnesses and see if that walk looks any better. All right, so here we are with the best dog in the world, Rover, and I'm going to show you the sensation harness. Now, the sensation harness has a label on the top, and that's what goes over the dog's head and on their shoulders. It clips under the belly, and it should fit fairly snug. Now, this is the important piece. The leash clips to the top of this chest ring right here. And when you're walking your dog, the leash comes off the shoulder next to you, and you're going to give a gentle pull up with the leash. And what that does is it kicks in the dog's oppositional reflex, and it applies belly pressure. The dog will actually back up, and they turn into you when they feel that a little bit. Now, oppositional reflex means that when you push on an animal, like if you've ever tried to push past a horse in a stall, you're going to feel them push back into you. That's instinct. So when a dog has a regular collar on and they feel that pressure on their neck, instinct kicks in and has them pull even more. Even though they may be gagging and making all kinds of awful sounds, that's their natural instinct of oppositional reflex. And what I love about the sensation harness is most dogs do not have any adjustment time to it. You put it on and you go. The biggest thing is it needs to be fitted properly, and the folks here at Animal Tracks will help you do that. These straps are important that they stay up on the dog's chest. It needs to be a slightly snug under their waist and across their shoulders here. And again, as you're walking, there is a little bit of a leash pressure. The leash has to be loose, and then when the dog starts to pull, you pull up and release, and it gives that dog that information to back up away from you. So both have a sensation harness on. If Mackenzie gets too far, I'm going to pull her. See how she stops? And she just waits for me. Same with Vesta. Pull and release. Pull and release. I'm not doing anything differently than what I did before. I'm just out for the walk, and that's how much different these sensation harnesses work, and they're great on little dogs. Now, Mackenzie sometimes decides she wants to go where she wants to go. Come on, Mackenzie. Good girl. There you go. There you go. These are great life-saving items. Much better walk, safer for you, safer for the dog. Come on, baby. Here comes Amy. She's walking two of her dogs. Both dogs are Delta Pet Partner therapy dogs. They're big, muscular guys. She likes to walk them for 3 to 5 miles a day. And as you can see on her regular collars, it's a real challenge. It's not safe to walk dogs like this. Amy also has some shoulder injuries. She's had surgery on it, and this just exacerbates that physical ailment for her as well. If they decide they want to go somewhere, she's just hanging on for the ride. Like that. Okay, now we're going to put them in gentle leaders and show you what a walk will look like with that. Now, some dogs, sensation harnesses just don't work. That is possible. Some people have reactive dogs and they really need control of their dog's head, and a gentle leader is perfect for that. So what a gentle leader does, there's a little noose. You're sliding that over the dog's face, and then it clips behind their ears, and this one has a buckle. So if you have a big dog, Rottweilers, maybe some Dobermans, St. Bernards, any kind of really big dog, I walk a Great Dane and I use the buckle snap for the gentle leader. The leash connects under their chin. It is not a muzzle. The dog can, just like this dog has his mouth open, The dog can carry a ball, can eat, can drink water, and can breathe perfectly okay with the gentle leader on. It will not prevent a dog from biting, but it will give you control of their head. So if your dog is reactive, say to bikes, people, or other dogs, you might want to consider a gentle leader because you'll be able to control where their nose is pointing and keep them out of trouble that way. Now the downside to the gentle leader is some dogs don't like it right away and they drag themselves on the grass and they toss their head around. I usually suggest to people that you use a lot of treats. So you're going to be feeding Rover the whole time he has the gentle leader on, and the longer the walk, the more he'll acclimate to it, and then you won't have any problems afterwards. Eventually, dogs will see the gentle leader as a signal for they're going for a nice, long, enjoyable walk, and they'll be happy to see it come on. So now we've put both Frankie and Jubilee, Amy's big dogs, on gentle leaders. She's walked them on gentle leaders for years, so they're completely desensitized to them. They can still give a good pull if they decide they want to go someplace, but I think you can see the dramatic difference. She has total control over their head. The dogs are going to go where she wants to go, not where they want to go. This is better for Amy. It's better for her shoulder. Amy walks along the roads, and it's safer for her to be walking in those conditions now. It's safer for the dogs. They love going for their walks, and it would be impossible to walk these two without gentle leaders. So sometimes your dog may rub along. These guys like to roll in the grass anyway, but sometimes they object and rub a little bit on the grass for the gentle leader. If you're patient and you continue to use treats and go for long walks, that'll slowly dissipate. Now the third piece of equipment that's unique again to Animal Tracks, it's the only place you're going to find it in the Monadnock region, is the Canny Collar. And again, you'll see it displayed in this orange box. It's similar to the gentle leader. Here are the differences. It buckles like a regular collar behind the dog's ears. Okay, and there are different sizes, and the folks here will help you find the right size and the right product for your dog. This little noose slides over the nose, so it's very similar to the gentle leader. The biggest difference is where the leash attaches. So the leash attaches here behind the dog's head. And what that does is, if the dog is walking nicely and there's no pressure, then this noose is loose. Whereas the gentle leader sort of has a constant pressure on the dog's nose. But when they start to pull forward and move too fast for you, this will automatically tighten up and pull them back. Now in one of our episodes with Sonia, she was working on a Canny Collar, and she liked that because Sonia couldn't get the nose piece off her nose the way she was able to on a gentle leader, so she prefers the Canny Collar. But any of these pieces of equipment will offer you a very quick fix to the unruly dog. I'm a firm believer in always finding positive ways to solve dog problems. I've built my life around doing that. And these items that we've just gone over, the sensation harness, the Canny Collar, and the gentle leader, really take advantage of the dog's physiology and helping you accomplish that. Now I'm going to tell you just a little bit about this contraption. This is called a prong collar. Most people don't understand that it was originally designed to make dogs bite. And if you look at those teeth, they're pretty painful. And I suggested if you're going to use this, what I encourage you to do is put this on your bare leg and give it a jerk and see whether that feels pleasant to you and what kind of association you're going to form if you do that. This is designed to cause pain. And I will be completely honest, yes, you put this on your unruly dog and they will walk better for you, absolutely. But there are a huge amount of consequences that are coming along with this that you probably don't understand. So let's say, for example, your dog is reactive to other dogs and you put this baby on them, so now they're reacting, and as we've seen in several shows, most dogs react out of a place of fear. So they're afraid of the dog that's coming towards them. They're barking because dogs either want you to come closer or they move away. So a fearful dog is barking to say, hey, move away, I'm afraid. You've got this contraption on your dog and you start to jerk on it. Now you're inflicting pain and discomfort to a fearful dog who's reacting to another dog. Your dog is making the association that that dog is causing this pain and they better react even more to get them to go away. So it is available, it will make your dog walk nice, but there's a lot of other positive better solutions to having your dog walk nicely with you than to use this prong collar. Please remember that these prong collars were originally designed to make dogs bite, and there are huge consequences when you put this on your dog and you go for a walk that you may not even be aware of. So I would encourage you all to use a different piece of equipment that we've talked about today. So today on Doggy Dilemmas, we showed you 3 pieces of equipment that'll help enrich your walk with your dog. The sensation harness, the canny collar, and the gentle leader. Jubilee is showing us a gentle leader right now. You and your dog will enjoy a much safer and more enjoyable walk using any of these pieces of equipment. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next week for another episode of Doggy Dilemmas.
Having a doggy dilemma? Denise can help. www.denisemazzola.com. Denise Mazzola is a certified professional dog trainer with over 20 years of experience. She specializes in new puppy consultations, rowdy dogs, aggressive dogs, and private lessons.